Hi everybody, how are you today? It's Sharon here from the blog I Restore Stuff, ready for another DIY project here with Essential Stencil today, using some of their stencils and their transfers. So if you're watching the replay, comment the word replay within the 24 hours after we go live and you could get a chance of winning some Essential Stencil products. If you're watching on my I Restore Stuff page, hello, how are you? And if you're watching on Essential Stencil page, I'm just going to check that we are on the feed and good to go. Cross-posting two places at once, guys. So hello, Deanna, how are you today? We will get started in just a minute, but we'll be doing stencils and transfers today using some of the Merry Snowmen transfers. We'll be using that one. And we'll also be using the Don't Stop Believin' stencil. And guess what I'm going to be making? I don't know if you saw the description in the live on my I Restore Stuff page. I don't know that it comes across on Essential Stencil, but I'll put the description there later. We'll have all the links for you. I've just sewn up this morning some large Santa sacks. Do you call them Santa sacks or Santa bags? I don't know. In Australia, we'd call them either. Here we are. I can see us now. Thank you, Cindy, for sprinkling. Joyce Ann's here. Danielle and Evelyn, glad that you could join us today. I had some fabric, plain red fabric, so I've cut it into 4 equal parts and they turned out to be this large. Now I'll let you know the size that I've got. You can make your own if you want, or you can use existing Santa bags for, you know, because I'm sure you can find some plain calico ones even. What do you call calico over there? Burlap bags, probably in the craft store. Hello, hi Sharon, how are you? So if you're watching here on my I Restore Stuff page, I am cross-posting live over to Essential Stencils page at the same time, and that is where you will get a chance to win some prizes. So join in on the conversation on our live. Oh, Robbie, you said your daughter just got back from Australia. That's awesome. What part of Australia was she in? I'll have to find out. Thank you, Elizabeth. Sprinkle to your group. Yes, you can hit that share button and share this live to your groups that you're in. Make sure that you have permission if you're not the admin of the group, because sometimes they don't like that. So make sure you're doing the right thing, following the group rules. That'd be great. Even you can share it in Messenger to your friends, or you might have a friend who loves to DIY and looking for some more crafty Christmas ideas. So we like to get started on Christmas early. This is probably late for some people who are organizing and crafting. We're going to be doing a stenciling on this cloth fabric. So yes, you can stencil on fabric. We've done it lots of times here on our lives. And to do that, I'm probably going to first put something in the back of it. I might just use another stencil thing, because we want to put that in the inside the bag so that our stencil doesn't come through, so the paint doesn't come through to the back of the fabric. It should be fine. This feels like a good quality, sort of thicker weave of fabric. Yeah, Diana, sounds like an interesting project today. Good. Excuse me, I'm still getting over a cold, so occasionally I have a little tickle in my throat. All right, I'll point your camera down here. We're going to be doing that. And I also wanted to see, so stay with me, because later we're going to see if we can add a snowman. I don't know, we might do a globe on a globe, make a snowman globe, or just a fun winter jar to add something to. You could add hot cocoa to it, all that kind of thing. So just any sort of mason jar. We're going to see how the transfers do on glass. I have done one before and they do work fabulously. Oh, I have to put this stencil around the other way, because the stencil I'll be using today, this is a single set. Did anyone get this one? Either in the package, the bundle, or individually. Did anyone get the Don't Stop Believin'? I thought that'd be a fun one to put on the Santa bag. Joyce saying you love those transfers. I do too. I think they're very cute. I haven't used them yet, so I'm looking forward to doing that. Okay, it's a single stencil, and the size is 16 by 8 inches. So it'd be great for a wood sign. You could put like a Santa sign in front of your house or something like that for the kids. But I think it would be perfect on something like this. Or you could use it for a tea towel, lots of different ideas. This is a large sack. Now, you have to keep in mind that with these huge sacks, I've put a drawstring in the top. So it was so easy to sew. If any of you even know the basics of sewing, I literally cut the fabric out. This is on a fold. So this end was all on the fold. I cut this way. It was already this width, so I didn't have to do anything to the width. I just used whatever fabric width this was. I think it's 21 inches, around about. It's probably more than that because I had like an inch on the side for the seam. So one edge was selvaged edge, so I just sewed up there and the bottom, and then I made a little loop, I guess you call it. No, a hem. I made a hem, doubled it over, made enough of a hem to fit some tie through. So you could use ribbon, but I had these ties in certain lengths, and this length was perfect. So they were even recycled from something else that I found them on. And then I popped that in, tied a knot in the end, and now you've got a big sack. So what I was going to say is, you need to keep in mind that I won't gather it all now, but imagine this is all gathered. So we don't want to put our stencil sign too far up this way, because I'll have to shift that down to show you what I mean. So when this is all gathered at the top, we don't want to put our stencil too far up, or it'll kind of get bunched up and bunched in the fabric. So we want to keep it fairly low to the bottom of the sack if you're creating a Santa bag. That's my tips for you anyway. So let's see, I've put something inside there so it will stop coming through. And so I'm just going to make it sort of around about there on the bottom. That gives us enough room to fill it and have a bit of a gathering section for at the top here. If you want to, you could use some painter's tape to keep it in line. Yeah, Donna's agreeing that the bottom is the best place to put if you're stenciling these. So tell me, have you seen Santa sacks that are just plain that you could stencil on in your craft stores? Let me know if you've found anything like that. If you don't want to sew your own, which they are fairly easy, but I know that some of you are going to say, I cannot sew for the life of me. So if that's you, you might want to have found something that is already in this formation at a craft store. Have you got anything at Hobby Lobby or anything like that? Let me know. All right, I'm going to use just a plain white, just using Picket Fence from Fusion Mineral Paint, but just any acrylic paint is fine. You can use a fabric paint also if you're unsure if your paint is able to be painted on fabrics. You can do that. I know that Fusion is great for fabrics. It fuses really well to furniture, and it fuses really well to pretty much anything you paint it on. I've got my cardboard here to offload on, and I've got my Essential Stencil brush. We do still have some pink brushes left, and so I do have the link there on my page, I Restore Stuff page. But Essential Stencil will gather the links here too and pop them up in the comments as we go along. So I'm wiping most of the excess off on the bottle, and then I'm wiping off a lot on my cardstock, and then moving that around on the brush. Hi Kimberly, how are you? Vicky is watching from Missouri. Tracy, you ordered another set of the brushes. Yeah, it is always, I recommend, it's a great idea to have another set of brushes on hand. 2 or 3 is great, especially if you're doing a lot of sign making. Now, what I'm doing now, the paint is right in the bottom of the jar. It is quite thick, and I wanted to add just a bit of damp from the cloth here onto my brush, because I feel like we need a little bit more on the brush. So you can always add more, but I always start with a very small amount. Has anyone stenciled on fabric yet? Have you tried it? How did you go? Sometimes depending on the fabric, this has got a really tight weave, the fabric, it's not a real loose weave, so it is quite easy to stencil on, I find. But you might find it's a little bit different than stenciling on something like wood, whereas this is fairly soft, and I'm going to have to just, these big areas, like where the hat is here, instead of my normal swirly method that I do on the other areas, I can see that the fabric's moving back and forth inside there. So I'm just doing a little bit of a swooshy, pouncy method to get on the hat there. But if you're new to stenciling, we are full of lots of tips and tricks here on our lives each week. So do join us. Do ask questions too. If you're brand new to stenciling, let us know in the comments. Janet, stenciled on dish towels. Love how they turned out. Yes, dish towels is a great idea. I love doing dish towels. They're a great gift idea for Christmas. You know, have them in the kitchen while you're doing your Christmas baking. There's some great dish towel gift ideas. I've done some dish towels using, there's Essential Stencil teacher stencils. I don't know if they're still in stock right now, but great teacher gift idea for end of year or Christmas gifts. So if you've just joined me, we are stenciling on fabric today. This is a gorgeous red fabric that I acquired and creating Santa bags, huge Santa sacks. So they'll be filled with presents to go under the Christmas tree for some little child's delight. Do you guys use stockings, or is Santa bags a big thing over there? I don't know. The red is pretty. I like it too. It's a nice deep dark red. You could even use the, what do you call it, the porch sign, the porch leaner sign that I did the other week. If you go back a few lives of mine, back into the video section of the Facebook page, you'll be able to see the live from a couple of weeks ago when I did the porch leaner. The stencil there that says, please Santa deliver presents here, something like that. That would be a cute one to do on this as well. You wouldn't have to put the whole thing on, but you could, use some of those elements from that to create a Santa bag. Like the presents or I think that would fit if you had a large enough bag. Please Santa deliver presents here, something like that. Make a tree skirt. Yes, great idea. There's lots of great Christmas ideas that you can do with fabric. And that's another thing I could have done with my red fabric that I found. Make a tree skirt, and then you could stencil some of the gorgeous pattern designs around the trim of the skirt. I like that idea. Oh, a little star for the dot on the eye. See, there's some things here that I don't realize until I start stenciling. I'm like, oh, that's a clever idea. Essential Stencil designers. Yes, the white is going to pop, I think, on this red. So it will look good. From what I can tell as I'm going along, fabric is a bit interesting. So sometimes you can get a really solid coat on when you're painting on wood or something that's firm, a firm surface. But with fabric, sometimes it'll soak in a bit. And yes, we do have something in between the bag so that it won't go through to the back layer. Same with when you're doing t-shirts. You make sure you have something in between. So I may have to go over it with a second coat, but then sometimes you never know. It might, see this part looks a bit dark still, like it's still soaking in. And so sometimes the second coat will just really bring it all together and make it a nice solid look, because that first coat with fabric is sometimes really just sealing the fabric and creating a barrier there, and then you can add a second coat and get a nice, really solid look. Good evening, Mel. Thanks for saying hello. Vic's asking, is it a... Oh, I missed. Sometimes the comments disappear. I think you're asking about the type of fabric. Is it a burlap type fabric? No, it's actually... I want to know what it is too. It's probably a drill. We would call it a drill here, like a cotton drill. It feels like very quite sturdy, thick cotton fabric. Where are our sewers in the group? I'd love to know. Do you sew? Do you sew some things for Christmas? I was even thinking, I do have a lot of linen fabric, and I was thinking, just plain colours it is, of creating sewing some tea towels myself, some dish towels, and then stenciling on them. Might be a fun idea. How hard can that be, right? I'm into easy sewing projects, don't know about you. Yeah, canvas, Donna. I'd say, yeah, a little bit, I feel like it's just a little bit lighter than canvas, not as thick. But yes. Painting on fabric is pretty easy if you've got a nice tight weave there to work with, which this seems to have. All right, so when we get this done, we'll have a look and see if we think it might need a second coat. We can just do that really quickly. The second coat will go on a lot quicker because this first one has taken a little bit because we're working it into raw fabric and it's soaking down in there. So if we get that really dried, I might just have a peek. Want to have a peek with me? Have a little look, see? I think we're going to need some... Oh, look, that's not too bad. It's actually quite nice. I don't think it's too bad. You can see that from there. But we'll just hit it with the hairdryer. I do feel like from this angle, you can still see... Oh, now that's kind of off its placement. There we go. I'll hit it with the hairdryer. Let's do that. And we'll just add a second coat to be sure, because we want to make sure that it's going to stay there for a lifetime. So this will also set the paint in the fabric. So you can either use a really hot hairdryer to set the fabric, to set the paint, or you can pop it in the clothes dryer for 15 minutes on hot, as long as your fabric allows for that. The other thing you can do is to iron it on the reverse side, and that will also help to set the paint in the fabric. Once you've done that, you can wash it, and it is good to last many years. All right, we're going ahead now and just adding a lot into this hat here, because this hat is the largest, has the largest area to cover. Oop. So offloading the brush is really important. I feel like I've shifted the stencil, you know, just slightly. Trying to get it back in line. Maybe my fabric needs to stretch out more. So we may get a little bit of line. So if I was doing this again, I probably wouldn't move it. See, if I pull that fabric out there, it comes to the right place. Well, here we go. So this will be a lot easier to just go over on that second layer, second coat. We may get a little bit of a shadow line out there, outlined somewhere, because I've slightly shifted it off its place. how are we all going with crafting for Christmas and getting Christmas things ready? Joy saying you've never been you've never been a hand at sewing. Doing good to thread a needle. Oh my goodness, I'm doing good to thread a needle these days with my eyes. I'm needing my glasses on, and even with your glasses on, you're kind of like, oh my goodness, can I see the thread? Thank goodness for those little needle threader things. They're a handy help, aren't they? All right, and then after we've done this, there are some other stencils too that would be a fun idea, and I thought if we have time, I'll give a go of creating some other different looks with some of the other stenciled signs. Christmas stencils that would make great Santa sack stencils, so we'll have a look at those in a minute and get our snowman transfer done. So like I said before, the fabric kind of really soaks it up in there, so it's okay to be a little bit more generous with your paint on your stencil brush. But remember, it still will bleed under the stencil if you're not careful, if you've got too much on the brush. So we want to still be careful of that and mindful of that. Cheryl, you've been stenciling for days. That's great. Hi, Sandra. Thanks for letting us know where you're watching from. It's so interesting to see where people are watching from all over the country. So don't forget, guys, you can use my code IRestoreStuff and get 10% off any of these stencils that we're showing today. Would love you to use that. And it is not too late to order and get your crafts ready for Christmas, or gifts ready for Christmas. So some of you are still crafting to the last minute. Some great fun things to stencil on in the craft stores, I'm sure. And I was asking before if you've seen any plain Santa sacks in the store, like Hobby Lobby or wherever. Maybe burlap ones, plain any colour fabric that you can craft on yourself. So if you don't sew yourself, just get something from your local craft store that might have. We are nearly done with this one. I feel like it keeps soaking in. All right, I'll just pop that aside for a minute. I'm just putting the brush in a wet cloth, and that helps to stop it from drying out, because we are going to go on with some more different stencils on another Santa sack. I'll just show you a couple of ideas anyway. Oh, look at that. Nice and bright. I like the way it turned out. So I do have something underneath, so I've just got another stencil that I've used for underneath, and there's nothing on that, so I didn't have to worry, but it's always better to be safe. So here we go. We've got the drawstring up the top here, and I'll just have a little look at, maybe we'll pull that tight a little bit so you can get the idea and the concept. Filled with presents on Christmas morning. Imagine. Don't stop believing. So we'll just do that, and then you can sort of get an idea of why if we draw the string at the top there, that's why we put our stencil down more towards the bottom. So once that's got presents in it, you'll probably be able to still see the sign at the bottom. And you can hang it up ready for Christmas morning. So I actually made 4 out of that fabric. So I'll just grab one more. I think we've got time before we get onto our snowman jar. And I don't know, does it matter which way I've put this tag at the end? Let me see what I did on this one. I had it over this side. So I think I'll keep that fairly uniform in case they're being used for all the same family and they want to hang them by this, and they've sort of got them all hanging on one angle like that. So now I got out some other stencil ideas for this, and they're using smaller ones. We've got the Wish You a Merry Christmas set, a tree. It's got We Wish You a Merry Christmas tree. I feel like that's a little bit small, but you could then fill that out with other mini signs and things like that. So we've also got the Santa Baby set, 6x6 minis, and there's 6 of those. That's not a new set. That's actually an older one. So if you do, if you've been around a long time, you may already have this one. Or if you're new to Essential Stencils, you may not have this one. I'll show you what's in it. It's the Santa Baby set. We've got the North Pole. I think I'll use these ones. These ones I've set them aside on the top to use. We've got the Santa face, and then we've got Santa is Coming to Town. And I thought they'd look cute just sitting along as a 3, a little threesome like that. So then we've got sleigh rides, cookies for Santa. That's another cute one that would look good on a dish towel, tea towel, something like that. Sleigh rides and Santa Baby. There you go. So that's a set of 6. I do have the link on my website, but Essential Stencil might have that link for you. If they don't have some links already, I will get those for you. And also this one I thought would be great, which also has Christmas market on the back with the ornaments and things like that. It would also look great for a Santa sack type of thing. So again, I think the white on the red looks fabulous. We want to pop them fairly close together. I think that's cute, don't you? I would put it this way, but I feel like it's a little, or you know, there's so many different arrangements you could do. You could do this, like that. I don't know. What do you think? I love the Santa face too, and it'd be great if it was a larger one, but maybe it'd be great for stockings as well. These little ones would be good to put on just plain stockings. Santa is Coming to Town, North Pole. I think I'll just do it across like this. Now I will get packaging from my stencils to pop that inside again. So we do want to put it down fairly low, but this one not too low because they're fairly small stencils. 3 in a row, on a row across, straight across. Yeah, everyone's saying they like it across too. I just couldn't figure out a good configuration with them going like this, you know. It just was a bit, I don't know. But I like this. I like this going across business. Let's do it. Okay, getting that right in the center as much as I can. Hope I'm not crooked. I'll have to stand up over this to make sure I can see it properly. Let me get this pointed down a little more so you can see there. And I'll tape it so that we don't go anywhere. Okay, grabbing my cardboard, and I've still got some paint left over here. The North Pole. Has anyone painted or used the transfers? This is what I'm going to do next, the snowman transfers. If you put transfers on glass, a glass jar, let me know if you've done that. Kathleen said you used that Santa face so much last year. He is really cute. Yeah, so if you don't have this set, there's 6 in the set, so it's great value. You get lots of little stencils to work with, and you can mix and match them all on different projects. You can use them singly on a project, or use like 3 on a project like I'm doing here. So you could even do a sign that's got them going across, or 2 of them. Oh, I just had a little panic that I had this around, flipped over the wrong way, and I was doing things back to front. I know that you would tell me. I'm not actually looking at the comments right now, but I have done that before. Flipped a letter the wrong way because I'm working upside down, so kind of get myself back to front sometimes. Well, our days are getting warmer and warmer here in Australia, where I am in sunny Queensland. I can feel it. I think we're due for some thunderstorms this week, I've heard. Oops, shifted it slightly. See, that's what happened if I didn't tape down the fabric properly. We'll need a bit more paint, so just pop the brush in. Got too much on the brush, we wipe it off on some cardboard and just use enough to where it will go on but not bleed under the stencils, because that creates fuzzy edges, and we don't want fuzzy edges on our stenciling. We want nice crisp lines. So if you did have a burlap bag with just a plain sort of, that creamy background, you could use red or green, different colours, but I think I like the white, just simple white popping off the red. Oops, I think I had too much on my brush. That feeling, that feeling like, hope I didn't just cause Santa's beard to run. You could have just an extra few hairs there. Okay, last one over here. Santa is coming to town. Oh, temperatures are sounding good over there for me. Some of those temperatures sound very cool. And then in my head I've got to convert your Fahrenheit to Celsius, because we go in Celsius here. So for us, a hot summer day is like 30 degrees Celsius, sometimes more. And the humidity here is really bad in the summer. Thank you guys for sprinkling and sharing our lives. We love it when you do that, because that will help us help other people find us and see how they can create fun projects using Essential Stencils and the transfers. I'm just pouncing a little bit to get that off my brush. And I can swirl. I've moved a bit off the brush, I can swirl it around. So if I do need to go over that again, I can do that later, but for now, just to save a bit of time while we're doing this live, I'll just do that much. Oops, went off the edge. I can feel the thing underneath only goes to there. So hopefully it didn't go through to the back, but it didn't last time. Didn't even come through the first layer of the fabric, so that's good. That's a good thing. Okay, removing the tape. Let's have a look and see how they turned out. So there's two fun creative ideas for Santa sack. Now I did sew up 4 of these bags this morning, but I'll only just do the 2 for now. So there we go. How's that? Lift that up a little bit so I can sort of show you how it looks. Santa's coming to town, North Pole. You could add some stars down here, some snowflakes, some sprinkles. Lots of fun ideas. All right, next thing we're going to do, and I'll hang that back over my chair where I've got some other ones hanging out. Should have put the aircon on today. I'm feeling it, guys. All right, here's our lovely snowman transfers, and I'm going to see how we go doing this on glass. Now the transfers are back in stock. If you missed them, they were out of stock for a little bit. And don't forget to use my code IRestoreStuff, and you will get your 10% off. Here you go. I've got some links, guys. I'll just pop them right there in the comments so you can see. These are the ones that I am using today. Okay. Here is the snowman with the snow globe. And then there are some larger ones over here with a nice red checkered scarf. Oh, there's so many cute ones. It's so hard to decide. So we've got some blue theme going on here, and then we've got sort of some red theme going on here. Oh, hard to choose. Now I want to see, let's see, I think this one might fit. This one will be too large. Oh, maybe he's a bit too large as well, because what I want to do is I just want to go, there's a flat surface, and then you can see that the jar goes up over the end. So I want my snowman to fit in that space and area there. So I may end up using some of the smaller ones. What about snow globe? Maybe not. They're a little large. So I'll go with some of these smaller ones. Get your scissors. Super easy to use the transfers. We could even put a couple around. Let's have a look at that. Essential Stencil has popped in the link there for you. Oh, I might grab a couple of these snowflakes. See, the things you do when you actually cut them out, I go, oh wow, I didn't even notice that. So I've grabbed some of the snowflakes that were surrounding, they're all in between. So you can cut the little snowflakes out individually. I just kept these with the snowman. I'll see if they work right here, like so. Maybe, I think I might have to just cut that top one off here, because that'll end up going over that bump on the jar, and I'll use that somewhere else on the jar. And here's my code, don't forget, there we go, I restore stuff, that'll get you 10% off on Essential Stencils website. Now you can use one of these super duper handy dandy transfer tools, or you can use a store card, something like that. Oh, there's a little bit of glue from a label that's just not removed there. So I'll start working on this back side here. I have cleaned the jar, but I must have missed that little spot there. All right, so all we have to do is take the back layer off, the white paper. Just going to pop that down again and make sure. His hat comes just over the rim a little bit, but that'll be fine. Excuse me. So, tell me what you would put in your jar. Maybe use it as a gift jar, cookies in it, or you could create a fun snow globe for the kids and put, I don't know, I'm sure there's YouTube videos on how to create snow globes. All those snowflakes are cute. Okay, I can feel it going down on the surface there now. So I'm going to rub that down with my thumb first. So the plastic topping on top, as opposed to the white backing, the plastic topping only sticks to the actual images. So you can use this, but I can see that that has stuck down really well just with using my hands. So that's going to come off super easy. Just making sure there. So you're just rubbing that along until you sort of see it giving way, and you can see through the plastic at the top that it's coming off. Just got to go extra careful around these little parts where the glass is bending over. Oh, this is coming off nicely today. Sometimes you can never tell how the transfer is going to work on different surfaces, and sometimes it depends on the weather also. Okay, did this one come off here? Let's have a look. I've got the snowflake on this side, so that snowflake is really nice. I think that if I put in some coloured water, like some blue food colouring in some water, that would look really pretty. Just a little bit of blue food colouring. That would make a pretty snow globe, and then put glitter inside. You can see it in the background. Hi Kinkini, watching from Australia. Yay! Welcome. Okay, so there's the transfer right there. Doesn't that look adorable? You can see the snowflakes on the side. You can just see them. If I put some white card in there, you might be able to see them better. But they look adorable. I don't know if it helps to hold my hand up against it. And then on this side here, we've got this one snowflake just in the middle there. That is great. And then I could put one around the other side if I wanted to add to that. I think I might, you know. So we've got the red snowman there. Let's have a look at the other sizes. Oh, and then I've got this snowflake as well. So I was going to put that somewhere. I probably don't need to. I've got 1, 2, 3. It's kind of even. We'll set it aside and use it for something else. Let's do one more. We've got this snowman with a grey kind of scarf. We've got this one with a red. What have I got red? Let's grab one of the blue snowmen. See, this is making me feel cooler already. Working with snowmen and snow glass. He still has his head. Yippee. Oh, are you referring to Melissa's live yesterday? I just caught little snippets of Melissa's live because I quickly go through the other ambassadors and what they've done as their lives and kind of just press the fast forward every now and then. So I didn't get the whole gist of what happened, but I saw she had a little thing going on with her snowman not sticking properly and he lost his head. This one's smaller, so this one's slightly smaller than that one, but we'll use it and we'll just pop it on the other side. Again, I'm going to take with it some of the snowflakes that are surrounding it, and it works out to be 3 again, which 3 is a good number to work with. So you like to work with odd numbers, they say, when you're doing, you know, art and crafts and stuff. Oh, I've still got that little bit of glue or something there. Anyway, maybe this will cover it up. You pop a snowflake right there and no one will know. I'll just shift it to the side. Okay, so again, removing the paper backing. And putting it right. Well, I think I've got him crooked. Well, it's down now, so there's nothing I can do about it. No going back. You've got to be careful when you're putting it down, where you're aiming. Just once it's down. I don't like to lift it because then it can cause the little thing will peel off. The actual transfer will peel off onto the glass, but you want it to be where you do want it, not where you don't want it. So again, just rubbing it all over. So then the other thing, once you've finished your jar, you can use some little wooden tags. You can even get, some of the tag stencils and wooden tags to wrap around a ribbon around the top of it and to display something in. Well, wouldn't these look cute in the bathroom? Oh, hang on, comment here. You can make a manicure in a jar and place a transfer on it. So many ideas. Yes, I love it. I should be reading your comments, guys. You're doing great. Giving me all these, a candle. Yes. Make a snowbank like he's leaning. Yes, that's a great idea because he is leaning. I don't know if you can see my lean. He's leaning. I don't know if I've got any other snow that I can make a snowbank with, but yeah, great idea. You could even make a miniature, I don't know if someone said this already, but you could put some fake snow in the bottom and create a little scene inside in the back with some little Christmas trees in it on the inside. Oh, look at that. Perfect. These transfers officially work magically on glass. I love it. So there it is. There's his snowflakes going all around. Now, people have asked me before, and I did last time, do you seal the transfers once they're on there? Do you seal them? I did last time, but the sealer I used, because I kind of brushed it on, maybe it'd be better with a spray sealer, but I could see around the outsides, because you're trying to brush just on there, I could see little marks of where the sealer was on the outside, and I feel like it looks just so nice and smooth there. I mean, if someone wanted to, they could come along and scratch it off, but it's not going to go anywhere. But I would not recommend in the dishwasher. I feel like if you didn't seal it and you did pop that in the dishwasher or something, you would have no little snowman left on there. So Kathleen said, did you use rubbing alcohol first? Nope, I don't think I did. I just cleaned it, washed it, and did that. You could fill the jar with candy, small soaps, bath salts. Yes, so many different ideas. So I didn't bring ribbon with me, but there's these little wooden tags, that you can just get from craft stores, and so you could just put a couple of tags on the front or one little tag or something, wrap a ribbon around there, and then you've got your gift to go. Great gift giving ideas. And let me show you what we created earlier if you've just jumped on the live and joined us, and then we'll be finished and looking for some winners. So stay with us until we found our winners. Here's what we created earlier, some large Santa sacks or Santa bags that would be great for under the Christmas tree, right? So we've got the drawstring in the end. I just created these out of a panel of red fabric, chopped it, sewed up the edges, and then created a hem at the top to pull this thread through, a tie. And we put our stencil down the bottom. I mentioned this earlier because once it's gathered up the top, and your presents are in there, you can sort of, it'll puff out on the bottom, but you wouldn't be able to see it if it was up here. So that's that one. And then we created this one here using the little mini set of stencils. So I'll just gather that with my hands up here so you can kind of see how that one looks as well. It says North Pole, and then we've got Santa is coming to town along the bottom. So we could have put that one a little bit lower maybe, but once it's filled out, I'll take some pictures. I'll kind of fill it with, I don't know, bubble wrap or or paper or something, and and I'll post those on my I Restore Stuff page, and I'll post it on if you're in the Stencil of the Month Club group, you'll be able to see it there. So here is our jar idea as well. See, that was so quick and easy. We've finished in plenty of time today. So there's the jar idea. I love it. So many different fun things that you could use. So yeah, definitely the transfers stick really well on glass, and so try that. Let me know if you're going to try that at home. Here are our winners today. We've got Melissa, Michelle, and Shaylin. Melissa, Michelle, and Shaylin, there is an email there for you to send your details to where Essential Stencil can send you some prizes. So congratulations, our winners today. Here's our Santa sack ideas and our jar, and I will see you again next week for another fun live DIY project. Bye.